Hey everyone, welcome to today's community conversation where we are going to explore the perfect fusion of Flip with various Microsoft tools that we've seen and found to be effective in the classroom.
So our names are Jess Boyce and Andy Knieven. We're two of your educator innovation leads at Flip. And we counted up yesterday, between the two of us, we have 30 years of teaching experience, which is kind of cool, kind of crazy. Yes. Oh, I always go the wrong way. Okay. So this is a super special event for both of us today because we both were MIE experts in the classroom for years before we joined the Flip team. So Andy, I just wanted to ask, what was your favorite Microsoft tool that you used in the classroom? Other than Flip, of course.
Game changing. I love OneNote, wonderful. But once I discovered Minecraft education, that just was like a door to a whole new world, literally, and pun intended. But oh my gosh, yes. What about you?
So same with OneNote. I felt like it changed everything, especially whenever we started our technology magnet. But then Teams also, I was lucky enough to get to pilot it in my classroom in 2017, and I felt like it changed everything. I just became obsessed, and then, it just kind of all snowballed from there.
I love it. Oh my gosh. So we are thrilled to be joined today by two amazing educators and friends, which is a joy to say as well. But Tiara, an education and business consultant from Inspire, Engage, and Educate in Atlanta, and also Carrie, a librarian from Milton Area Schools in school district in Pennsylvania, both incredible leaders and Microsoft innovative educator experts.
So before we get started, don't forget we want to hear from you. So please do be sharing your questions, your comments, your ideas in the chat, but then also share your favorite Microsoft tools. We want to hear what you all have to say. But let's dive in. Let's unlock the full potential of the collaborative synergy between Flip and other Microsoft tools. So why don't you both just go ahead and quick introduce yourself real quick.
Well, I'll go first. I just want to say I'm super excited, not only to be here, but we get to start another amazing year full of innovation and, endless possibilities with Flip and Microsoft. So I am Tiara Reed, the owner of Inspire, Engage, Educate, and I'm just super excited to be here. That's pretty much what I have to say. I'm looking forward to diving into those tools that bring me joy and that I constantly see as I travel around to support different schools and corporate clients.
And I'm Carrie Killian, Certified Library Media Specialist in Milton Area School District, Milton, Pennsylvania. And I am thrilled to be here, just being able to chat and share and take in some new ideas. I can't wait to hear what Tiara has to share. It sounds like it's going to be incredible. I'm also looking for the audience here. Share your ideas. I know you're doing amazing things with Flip and Microsoft tools. So super excited to hear what you have to say because, I'm getting the butterflies in my belly. The school year's about ready to start. And this is a time that I start to think of what are new things I'm going to try this year. So great to be here.
Oh yeah, that feeling I know all too well, that a little bit nervous, a little bit excited, and just so many new things. My head was always spinning of like new ideas that I wanted to try. So for both of you, what are your favorite and impactful? Let's talk about both. What combinations did you love to use bridging Flip and then Microsoft 365 tools in the classroom? Tiara, you want to start us off?
Oh, sure. So, of course, when I'm thinking, I'm always thinking about those of us as educators that are forever learning. And I always navigate to Microsoft Learn. Microsoft Learn is a tool that, of course, you can learn so much, not only about Flip, but also some other great tools. And thinking about the beginning of the year, what is impactful that you can actually gather that data? Because, right, you're getting to learn the personalities of your students, as well as those parents that are coming to your classroom, getting all that intel from them. And Flip is an amazing tool that you can merge with not only forms, and allowing people to share in video how they feel or the best wishes that they have for their children. And it's also something that they can do on their own time. So making sure not only you get the survey data from our parents, or even those pre-assessments that you may send throughout your newsletter, but also make sure that there's a flip so that your parents and the students can get a chance to not only introduce themselves, but also share what they look forward to learning from you.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share, Tara, those are great examples and ideas, and definitely ones I'll be taking back to the classroom. So thank you so much. So I will have to say, one of my most memorable, favorite, best experiences with Flip that I share with anyone who's thinking about doing any kind of remodeling or just redesigning their learning space. We used Flip when we were thinking about building a new library. Well, the library is built, but it was kind of ancient. So we had the opportunity to try new things, and that's not my skill set. I'm not a designer, I'm a teacher. So I took it to the students and said, if you could design any library you would like, what would it be? And then they responded on Flip. I provided with some catalogs they could look through, and they picked out their favorites. Then they picked out the color scheme of our current library, because I didn't know. So in any classroom, in any learning space that you have, Flip is a great way to hear from your students how they would feel more comfortable learning. And it gives them a chance to share their voice. And then when you really act upon it, it really empowers them to be like, wow, that was kind of like my idea. So I continually still say to this day, this beautiful library that I have was designed by students. So that was one of the best things. And then we could put those on Microsoft Teams, made it easy to put Flip on there, and the students could continue to add and share ideas and suggestions. So that, I think, will always end up as one of my all-time favorite ways to use Microsoft Flip in a meaningful and impactful way.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much.
I
And
do.
yeah, and I so vividly remember, Carrie, whenever you were sharing the plans that your students were coming up with. And, you know, our mission is to make learning fun, but also empowering. And that is like exactly what you're doing, giving your students a voice. How many times, you know, do we ask for their input on design? And I think that that's something that they're going to remember for a long time. And, you know, just even coming back and being like, oh yeah, I helped design this library. Like, how cool is that? And then Tiara, when you were talking about getting just a way to get to know your students, I think that that's so important, especially like, you know, as we're talking about the excitement of the new school year, and, you know, whether it's name pronunciation or things that that they're passionate about. I saw recently even someone shared, like, share a boring fact about yourself, just because sometimes people get like all hyped up trying to come up with interesting things, you know, and just being like, no, I don't like mayonnaise. But it still is just like a fun way for people to connect with one another. And I love trying to get those out before the school year even starts, so that you know, any of you that know me know I'm all about community. And so it was like trying to build that before the students even got into the classroom, so they felt like it was a safe space already, you know. Thank you both so much for sharing.
Absolutely. Just echoing that brown bag activity, right? You putting those 10 things in, but how rewarding is it for you to actually go and see, right? Those 10 things around their room or around their house, or the 10 people that bring them joy, you know, just expanding on. And that's what I love about the tool. Flip gives just endless possibilities when you flip whatever, right? Because that's the idea we've been using for so long.
Yeah. I mean, Tiara, I love taking the extra step of saying, all right, giving that information in a form, but then when you add in the flip response, you can hear more, you see more. That video is a lens into your students and into their family and their community. That, I mean, everybody's culture to be able to, shine and, become stronger for sure. But oh my gosh, Carrie, the school design, that is something that, when I've done that to say design a classroom in Minecraft, but then when you put that into actual like life and the students say like, I designed this, or this was an idea that I had a voice in. I mean, it just creates a whole new ownership and enjoyment to walk back into that every day.
And it still brings tears to my eyes every time I think of it, because the students were so invested in it. And I wasn't afraid to say, this is not what I do so well, so I need your help. And they were very happy to help.
Oh, what a powerful thing too, to be able to say that, Absolutely.
Yeah, I just saw the comment there with Sarah talking about, the coolest thing in Reading Coach with an immersive reader in Flip. I mean, yeah, there's so many amazing new things, within the Flip platform. Thank you, Sarah. And yes, Highfields, London Road, looking forward using Flip for cooking challenges. That sounds delicious. And so everybody coming together, breaking bread is always an enjoyable thing to connect further. So I guess, I mean, carrying the conversation on, I mean, how has Flip in your favorite Microsoft 365 app, how has that empowered your teachers and students to accomplish something that wasn't possible before? Carrie, you go first.
All right, I'm going to go first with this one, and I'm going to give a shout out to a colleague of mine, Jackie Haynes. She is a second grade teacher, and we did something new in our district at the end of the school year, something called Move It Up Day. And teachers are just so amazing. The end of the school year, they have so much going on, but our administrators decided, you know what, let's go ahead and let the students meet the teacher that they're going to have next year. So the teachers all prepared a little something fun for the kids to do that were coming in for that activity. And Jackie did an incredible Flip activity where she had her second grade students give some little tips for success in Mrs. Haynes's classroom for those first graders that would be visiting that classroom. So her students got to see those videos and share with them and hear from her current students how they can be more successful as a second grader. So that was just a fun day activity, but now integrate that into Microsoft Teams, or put it on a QR code when they come into school the first week and say, here's your second grader from last year with your little note of encouragement, just giving you some ideas how you could be better and do better this year, or keep it in Microsoft Teams. And anytime a student needs a little bit of encouragement, they could flip on one of those fun little videos. Jackie said her kids had so much fun with that activity. So I just love that, the connection and doing things like that. Like we've heard students will write letters to kids coming in, but the Flip video is pretty magical.
Absolutely. I love that. One of the things that really stand out to me, that empowerment, we know that we want our students not only to be reflective about the things that they've experienced and the people who have really touched their journey as they matriculate through school. So I remember doing a capstone project with a middle school that I supported, and the 8th graders, they got a chance as their last capstone or thing to do is share their experience with a teacher that may not have known how they had truly impacted their life. That was super, super rewarding for those teachers to hear the students, to see the students, and knew that they had a small portion of that child's success as they move forward to high school. Another thing that I think about when I think about those students that may need to hear things again, or may, for things beyond themselves, miss school. Well, we have Sway. And one thing that I love about Sway is that you can build it out to actually teach a lesson. You can put audio in there from your lesson. You can put notes, your PowerPoint videos, and also a flip. And this flip can be from other students that may have gathered the skill that you want to teach that student. Because a lot of time Students learn well from each other. So making sure that you even add that portion to it as well. But understanding that all of the tools that Microsoft has are intertwined to help our students be successful in any path that they take. And last but not least, don't forget the discovery, the library. You gotta look. It's the beginning of the year. You can go through and find out what others are doing and feel inspired.
Oh my gosh, I love that Discovery Library so much. There's like 40,000 topics.
Almost 50 now. I mean, we're 50,000, 48. I mean, oh my gosh, yeah, it's incredible how many things, and then it's all free. And that's what's even more amazing is that you bring it in, you own it, you can customize those topics to fit your classroom for an authentic, place for you to put your voice into it as well.
I saw someone else dropping in the chat about using Flip and Sway as well, Tiara. Right as you were talking, I saw that comment come up that they use it for back to school night for any families that weren't able to make it, to have like not only this like documentation of what you're doing, but to have that video there. I think there's just something really powerful about that, about being able to see the teacher and hear from them, because there's just so much emotion that comes across from video as well. I did see a question come through that got me all excited, and someone was asking, so please give a new approach and tips for high school math students. So Carrie, I'll let you take it away, and then I've got some ideas too.
All right, I'm K-5 library, not math. But I will share, one thing I did was maker spaces, and there's some robotics and there's coding and there's things like that. And what I absolutely love is when a student figures something out, they're the first ones, or they figured out how to do a robot, they figured out how to get some coding done that they know other people haven't done yet. I said, why don't you create a video to help those other students understand how they can do it? So I think videos where teachers, students are helping to teach the other learners really empowers them to be like, yeah, I got this, because it's something that they may see as something easy or simple, and they can explain it. And coming from a peer, it's always fantastic. All right, Jess, what do you have?
Well, that's so on par with what I was going to share, because you're right. Like, I feel like I could go over the exact same thing and the students don't get it right, and they hear it from a peer. I mean, it's the same thing. It happens at home too, right? If someone else says it, it's a great idea, right? But so I would have my students take an inventory. I kind of took the idea from ed camps. And so they would talk about what specific standard they felt super, super comfortable with and what standard they were a little shaky on. And then they would record tutorials based on those specific standards. So they're like, you know what, I've got surface area down pat. Let me talk through it. And so they would do a little couple-minute tutorial, 5 minutes or less. And then I had it separated. I went all out. I had it separated by specific standard. And so then when the spring came, they didn't have to think about like, oh my gosh, what did we do in October? We had our own little like Khan Academy library of student videos that we were able to go back and rewatch each of those. So when they filled out their sticky note and they're like, oh, I said that I wasn't comfortable with this specific standard, they could go and they could watch their peers' videos. And it was super, super helpful.
May I add something?
Of course, please.
So really quickly, when it comes down to high school, I'm gonna be honest. Yes, when I began my career, it was elementary, but thinking about that pedagogy, the art of teaching, it goes everywhere. So thinking about those students, anytime high school students or whomever learns, you have to really kind of focus on who has to be an expert at this. And with Flip, you can actually go and tap those experts. You don't have to worry about, are they available at this time, that time? Send them the link and let them talk about the ways that they've used those aerodynamics, or, how they use those geometric, or what is it? Sine, cosine, all these different things that our children sometimes like, what is that? So putting that tactical or that concrete behind it and allowing those people who work within those professions that deal with it, in my opinion, adds so much more value and relevance to the student's path. So I love what both of you guys said about that as well.
Love it.
Yeah. And said I would only echo exactly what Jess, Carrie, what you guys were saying of using Flip with math. The students are demonstrating it, but then within my classroom, and now granted, I taught 5th grade math and science as well, but it can be applied across a whole, range of grades to say, add that in. And now with editing captions, you can turn that into a writing part of making sure that obviously that what you are saying is then being seen correctly. But you can then take that another step and have students write out how they arrived at that solution. And that just drives a deeper, level of learning, is that now they're putting it into words. Because I mean, we think about obviously assessments, they need to be able to demonstrate, but also write out explaining themselves sometimes too. So a full, spectrum of how we can intertwine, flip with the map across so many different content areas, but then tools, taking that, and I did that within OneNote as well, as taking that flip video. Students can take their video, paste that link into their page, their video automatically is embedded. Then they have their table in OneNote that they can write out their steps. I can access their notebook. I mean, the full, range. And of course that can go into teams as well. So amazing, levels and layering that we can, app smash together.
Totally. And then a comment just came through too about students saving their videos over the years. So they can put them in OneDrive, they can put them on OneNote, they can have wherever. And then it becomes this really great portfolio of being able to see their progress. I know I'm specifically doing that for myself right now. I'm learning Spanish. And so I just keep recording videos of myself speaking and practicing. And then when I think I'm not getting any better, I could go watch a video from 6 months ago. And I'm like, oh, look at me. I am improving, So just having that, that way that students can then feel empowered too, to be able to show progress of their own learning is really, really cool.
Love that.
All right. So thinking about the future, right? We're already talking about, we're getting ready, school's on the horizon. So what's a combination of things that you are eager to integrate Flip with? I know Carrie and I had a really cool conversation. I'm super excited for her to share, but I want to hear what you guys are eager to try.
All right, can I go first?
Yeah.
So within Microsoft, there's a new tool called Search Coach and Search Progress. And I know as a librarian, I need to be teaching search and internet and safety and digital citizenship. It's super, super important. And it's something all of our teachers and educators need to be doing. Well, Search Coach is located within Microsoft Teams and it's free. So if you have Microsoft Teams, you can use Search Coach. And so I had an idea. Normally they come like late at night and you're like, I hope I remember this one tomorrow because that's a good one. But I thought, let's do fun fact. So I got this from my 20-year-old daughter and she's like, hey mom, fun fact. And she would just every now and then tell me a fun fact. I'm like, oh, really? So I thought, wouldn't that be great just to do some fun facts with students? And so I want to introduce Search Coach in a fun way and then also give the students the opportunity to share some fun facts. So I'm going to start it with my 5th graders and I'll start by showing them how to use Search Progress, Search Coach. What it does, it's a tool that guides them in their search queries and helps them to know how to get the best content, what they're really looking for. So I'll just guide them doing something fun, like, hey, fun fact, did you know? And I'll start probably with animal facts. And then after I do it, I'm going to say, okay, 5th graders, I do this with all my classes. And I would love to get fun facts that you create that I can share with the rest of my students. So we use Microsoft Teams. So within Teams, they're already using Search Coach. Flip will be also in Teams. So they will add their Flip videos and then we'll select a video that I'll be sharing with the rest of my students coming from 5th graders who will now share the fun fact for the rest of my students. So it's an idea. I'm always full of ideas and I just can't wait to try it. I've never used it before, but I'm super, super excited.
That's so cool. I can't wait to hear about how it goes and to try it out because I had never even heard of Search Coach until a couple of days ago. So really, really cool. And we love a fun fact.
Yes. So, I love that. I love the whole idea of empowering our students. So someone mentioned earlier about that reading progress and reading coach, allowing our students to be in the driver's seats of their learning. So if you haven't checked out reading coach or reading progress as of now, please put it on your list for this year, because what it does is it gives us that answer to that age-old question, how am I going to assess where my students are in reading and do it in this short amount of time? And then also that question of how do I ensure that every child feels confident and comfortable as they are going through this assessment. So with reading progress, I'm super excited to hear that it is within Flip now. But oh my goodness, I love seeing that. It gives our students all of their data, meaning those miscues, the repeated words, and then it also, like Jess was talking about earlier, allowing them to see their progress, allowing them to see how they're actually speeding up with their reading and making sure that their errors are being reduced as they consistently go through it. And then also getting that just in time feedback through the reading coach as well as the teachers giving feedback. So I'm super excited to dive into that and see how the Flip integration is going. And yeah, it's just another way to help our students.
Oh, Tiara, you just made my day. I love reading progress and reading coach, and I didn't know Flip was a part of it. So I can't wait to try it out and share that with our educators. So thanks for sharing that. Ooh, I'm excited.
So when you go into immersive reader, you can toggle it on, and
yes.
It's so great. Oh my gosh. And of course, it's still in beta, so there's lots of things that are going to be updated and changing. But what I love is that like it's already so good, but knowing that it's beta means it's just going to get better. And how cool is that?
Love it. Love it.
So oh, go ahead, Andy.
I was just going to say, I mean, we knew this was going to happen. I mean, there's so many great things that you both have shared. And knowing that time flies, I mean, our connection, our time is always so enjoyable. But what parting words, what thoughts would you give? And Tiara, I'll have you go first on this. But like, what would be something that you would share outward to the community, to anybody getting started or looking for, ideas? What's a takeaway that you'd want to pass along right now?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so it has to be 3 things. So number 1, you are going to have the most incredible school year. And I want you to believe it. I want you to say it every day because you have so many tools and you have access to a community that will support you. And also, it's really easy to start. So just start. Even if you don't have anyone in your building that understands all the incredible tools or Flip, you also have access to Microsoft Learn, where you can learn as much as you like, as well as going on Twitter and making sure that you connect with myself and everyone else on the panel to ensure that you consistently grow. When we grow our students, we have to also ensure that they see us being vulnerable, trying new things, because our number 1 goal is for them to become a lifelong learner as well. So that's just my advice. Just try, keep going.
Oh, that is such incredible advice and encouraging for educators out there just beginning their school year. And, you're excited now. And I would have to say the theme throughout today and a huge part of Microsoft Flip is the heart of the matter. We're actually reaching students and building empathy and giving opportunities for them to share otherwise where they wouldn't share. I mean, Tiara's idea for like 10 people who have inspired you, that's fantastic. And creating videos to share with educators that have inspired you. So these are just ways that students get to share their heart. And you get to see how wonderful they are and their positive ideas and their creativity. It just overflows when you give them the opportunity to use something like this. So it takes a little bit to get started on something new, but just pick one of these things that we shared to start with and then and see how it goes.
Oh my gosh. Thank you both so much for being here. This is such a special conversation. And I just feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so ready to go in and learn more things too. So thank you. And we will talk to you soon. See you both. And then really quick too, I want to bring in some additional resources for you all. I did see in the chat a lot of questions of, hey, can we actually see demos of how to use Flip and things like that? So I do want to let you know that we have more inspiring conversations coming up as well as getting started sessions for anyone who's new to Flip. So you'll actually go to aka.ms/Flip events and you can check out our calendar there. So we've got lots that are coming up. So make sure you check that out. out. And then if you need those demos as well, that's a great place to start.
Absolutely. And to continue your learning, connect with our community. As Tiara said, we love our Flip community from all around the world. But join our Think It, Flip It group, where we have amazing ideas and resources on how to use Flip in your classrooms, connecting with it. And then there's even a topic that's out there today with amazing demonstrations, screen recordings, and walkthroughs on how you can use Flip within so many amazing Microsoft 365 tools. And I encourage you, add your own as you discover a new, brain zing, add yours into that collection to support everybody else as well.
Totally. We always say we're better together, right? And this is such a great place to go and learn and inspire other people. So with that, we are perfectly on the dot at time. So thank you all so much for being here and sharing in this conversation. I totally look forward to keeping the conversation going on social media, throughout the Flip group, etc. So yeah, have a wonderful school year, and we will talk to you all soon.
See ya.
Bye.